Hey guys, this is Downphoenix, and I have a brand new game review for you.
Downphoenix? Who the heck is that?
So, that's a very good question, Deadpool. I know this is kind of embarrassing to show, but this is an actual review I've done.
How's it going, guys? Downphoenix. We're going to try out this game called Advanced Dungeons & Dragons Iron and Blood. It's supposed to be a fighting game. And, well, you're just going to see what this game's all about.
I actually have this new game I've been playing a lot called Town of Salem, and it is a fantastic mystery type game. Essentially what you do in this game is you try to figure out who is conspiring against the town. They could be members of the mafia or serial killers or a variety of other nefarious roles. Or perhaps you're actually one of those characters.
Oh, that just sounds stupid. Why would someone even play that?
So Deadpool, I know it does seem like a really silly idea for a video game, but trust me, this game is really addictive. I have played it for over 20 hours so far, and I've seen a lot of great content. And I would love to give everybody a chance to learn more about it. However, you seem to be intruding a lot on the review.
But wait, I promised to be good! Really?
Okay, so I did some research, and we decided to take a look at Google and Wikipedia, because what else does the internet use for research, honestly? And so, Town of Salem is basically based on a game called Mafia, which is a game where you conspire against people if you're the Mafia, and try to fool them into thinking that other people are the villains. But if you're not the villain, your role is to figure out who is and make sure that they get killed or banished from the town. So as I've mentioned, there are a variety of different roles, whether you're playing as the good or bad guys, and there's even some neutral roles to really add into the mix. You have a variety of different ways to help determine who the bad guys are. And then of course, as the bad guys, your role is reversed. Your role is to stop the townies. But the town folk outnumber the bad guys, so everybody has to essentially act like they are a member of the town. Because if you are outed as the bad guy, you are likely to be hanged or executed. And on the inverse of that, the bad guys are able to wear down the town folks' number every evening. And then of course there's a lot more that we can discuss here, which we'll get into later on.
Kids, go watch my movie! There we go!
Town of Salem is played in various phases, which, of course, if you're Deadpool, might be a little boring to you. But basically, you have a couple different phases that you play through the game. There is the day mode, for instance. This is where you discuss with the town and determine who the villains are, and of course, if you figure out a solution to that, you call them out for execution. This may also be a good opportunity to throw blame towards other people if you're the bad guys or the neutrals. And then we have the night phase, which allows you to take some special actions, whether good or bad guys, in order to basically extend out into the next day. And then when the next day starts, anyone that gets killed, good or bad, will be shown on the screen before the day's events start again. The cycle continues until one side wins. There are various classes for each of the townfolk, mafia, or neutral characters that have a variety of special abilities that will assist you in your investigation in completing this game. For instance, you might have a role like an investigator, who is able to look at other people every night and determine various activities that they may perform. Then you have roles like mediums, who are able to talk to the dead, and they can relay their thoughts every night into the day. They're even able to seance with the living if the medium themselves happens to get killed. Then you have roles like the Framer, which is a mafia role that allows you to flag another town member as a potential mafia member. This helps you to get the town to turn against each other, so it's a very valuable role to have. But there is my personal favorite role, which is the serial killer. The serial killer is a neutral role that has no allegiances to anyone. But you have to be careful as a serial killer, as you have no allies to rely upon. You only have your own wits as well as, obviously, careful selections on who you kill.
You earn these magic items? Watch. It just said artifact found.
As you can see, you are limited to the abilities that you personally have. So you also have to utilize the chat in order to gauge feedback with the rest of the village, in order to find out who the villains are. Or if you're the villains, of course, turn things around on the town. Of course, you can choose not to utilize the chat, but it might make you look like a guilty party if you're not saying anything. So you definitely want to keep engaged in the conversation to make it look like that you are actively investigating who the Mafia are, regardless of which side you are. And of course, if you're playing a special role like a jester, whose job is to simply get people to lynch them, the chat is very important and paramount in order to succeed. What the tarnation flummery is this? Why is my golly chat being such a escort with censoring everything? These snap crackle pop don't know flummery about some golly game development. As you can see, Town of Salem has a pretty nice and simple aesthetic to it. The graphics are nice and colorful, there's very little animation to speak of, but it does have a pleasing to the eyes look. As you can see, there are various customizable graphics that you can use for your town folks, houses, and even environments. On top of that, you have a great on-key soundtrack that does a great job of playing out the tension that goes throughout the game. It also keeps you mildly entertained as you go through the game, but it is fairly optional if you want to play without the sound. Now, Town of Salem is actually a free-to-play game that is supported by microtransaction and advertisement monetization. So this is not a game that you just buy once and you're done. This is a game that you can play absolutely for free if you choose to do so. However, there are various ways that they will monetize. Because this game's kind of really drawn a hook on me, and also because of the fact that I found the microtransactions to be very fair and not game-breaking, I happen to spend a little bit of money, which is something that I rarely ever do for free-to-play games. However, I do want to warn people that do get drawn easily by the free-to-play hook. This game can take to your wallet like Edward Scissorhands takes to hedge bushes, so beware. And just a little reminder, I know I'm no Tim Burton, but I've definitely improved compared to these days.
Hello, boys and girls, we're gonna go out in town. You know how you smell? You don't? You don't? Better check. Oh, god damn!
So I wanted to wrap things up with some final thoughts on Town of Salem. This was a game that I had a lot of fun playing, and it was a really unique experience. This is a game that you can spend as little or as much time as you want getting drawn into the game. It really also keeps you thinking as well, both on how to investigate and learn clues, as well as how to fool people, depending on which side you're playing. So I highly recommend this game. Like I said, it is free to play, and there's no reason you shouldn't play this game. As a matter of fact, there's even a mobile version of the game that's currently in closed beta. So if you use a smartphone, soon enough, you'll be able to play this everywhere you go. So I highly recommend Town of Salem. And I hope you guys enjoyed this review. So thank you very much for watching the Downphoenix show. But till next time, Downphoenix out!
Hey, thanks for watching me in Down Syndrome's video. Be sure to subscribe and check out WizWang's channel and the link on my dink who did the voice of yours truly. As WizWang1Nothing says, you're the losers and I'm the awesome. Or was that my line? Man, I'm hungry. I wonder does Wizwar have any chimichangas?